Well, it's about time. Really. I turn this stuff on and I really never know if it's going to work or not. I don't. Yeah, I'm in the middle of a reboot right now, so I'm not sure if I'm frozen, if I'm live anywhere or not. It is the VoiceOver Weekly Stew, 17 minutes late on a Friday afternoon, 2:17 on the West Coast, somewhere out there. I don't know why I do the two different time zones. It sounds more important when I do it that way. And here I am starting 17 minutes late. I apologize. I do apologize. I had the gear flipped on. I know you don't really care. I had the gear flipped on, and then my foot bumped, I think it was the power or HDMI cable. I can't remember which one. And I was all set and ready to go. The setup is a little wonky today, I know, because I was by the monitors in the shot and the webcam. This right here, the Logitech webcam. The Logitech webcam, I get paid sometimes to talk, actually was my backup in case this reboot didn't work. I was going to flip it on and I was going to plug it in and just let happen what happened. And at 5:16, things started to pop up on my screen. I had audio, I had video, the camera was working. So I figured I'd go with this route, even though it was going to be a little bit clunky. Anyway, hey, gang, Troy W. Hudson, the voiceover with personality, albeit late today. I sure hope you've had a good week. Hasn't this been a very odd week? It really has. And my whole intention was to keep this whole thing, because of all the stuff that's going on, to kind of keep this light and don't talk about, stuff that's going on. And that's what I do, and that's what I plan to do and what I will do. I had this little short mapped out deal where I was going to, and I still am, going to do a fun boxing because I got a box from Sweetwater. It's so big, it's out of the frame, but that's one of the reasons why I widened up a little bit, or had intended to widen up a little bit, because there is actually, there you go, it's in the shot. There's a Sweetwater box back here to my left. I guess that'd be your left. I don't know. Anyway, it's back there, and there's some things in there I want you to see because I'm excited. Because even though I have technical difficulties with my camera and the computer gear, the sound stuff, it's got to work. It's got to work. And Sennheiser, I appreciate you working. You're always ready to do what I need you to do. 416 and I go back a couple of years now. Has it been 2 years already? Has it really? Ignore us. We're just having a private sidebar conversation. Your mic as a voice actor is incredibly important. All the wiring is incredibly important. I thought was the top of the line Universal Audio Apollo interface to make sure that everything was connected right at a level that was amazing. Hired an engineer, one of the best in the business to dial everything in for my room, my sound treatment. So everything was like spot on. And then I buy a cheap DSLR camera, and stuff happens. So yeah, I'm still wonky. I still see stuff in the background coming into place. And part of this is what I'll talk about probably next week, depending on if it's here. The computer platform is obviously very important. I've been running an iMac 2015 model I bought a couple of years ago. Excellent computer. The one I had prior to that had, if you know anything about Macs, had an i7 processor in it. I can hear myself. Yeah, okay. You're not going to locally record. So I will have no, which is a good thing, I will have no, the software that I'm using to record Ecamm will not record this, and it's probably for the best, even though it'll be out there. I actually still see people interested in watching this train wreck. The thing about this is when I started this back in June of, way back in 2020, I was a nervous wreck. And I had a couple of these train wrecks happen early on and even later on. And I learned over time, I had more fun laughing as I'm doing it live, I'd look up and see people actually watching. And I think they're waiting for something else to blow up or some smoke to come out of my ears or out of some equipment or, things to go wonky or some weird freeze frame. And I'm like, and so whatever. But it's not going to happen because you can't rattle me during a live anymore. I mean, I look at it and I see things, weirdly going on in the background. The iMac is still booting up. And that's one of the things I was alluding to when I was talking about the iMac. While it can do some amazing things and it functions well with Adobe Audition, recording voiceover, editing, cleanly delivering sound files, and the Apollo plays well with it, and the Thunderbolt port, and the Sennheiser likes it. It doesn't care because it's going into the Apollo. While all those things play well together, I know I'm still jittery. I'm all, because Dropbox is trying to load up in the background, and I've got some other stuff. I've got a thing called Bitdefender Shield running in the background to protect me from those nefarious characters out there. And so just a load of stuff. It's not an SSD drive. That's one of the things that bug me. And it turns out the i5 processor is a bit slower, noticeably slower, and can take less of a load than the i7. Well, anyway, when I kicked or bumped out the Thunderbolt cable or the power cable to the camera at about 4:30 when I fired everything up, it caused chaos. The system was like, "What is that? I can't see the camera." So it took 15 minutes to boot up the computer, and that's just not acceptable. My laptop, on the other hand, my Mac Pro, am I saying that right? I always get it mixed up. My MacBook Pro, finally I got it right. My MacBook Pro laptop, which is running Big Sur now, and it has an internal, I think it only has a 128 gigabyte hard drive. It fires up like within literally 10 seconds. I know I'm just going to try not to say literally this time. It actually fires up in about, I don't want to exaggerate, within 10 or 15 seconds, it's like, boom, it's up. And I wish this thing would do the same thing. I've remedied that situation because the last major tax-deductible equipment purchase I made at the very last day of December was something I've got coming in, a previously owned but low mileage Mac Mini. Sold that to me at a very good price because I did shop around quite a bit because this iMac I'm on right now, you kind of hope electronics don't really have feelings, and no, because if it did, it would just like, fine, you don't need me, I'm out of here. But thankfully it's not. It's beefed up as much as I can get it beefed up. But it was time to speed up the process and make things run smoother. So I am investing, I did invest in a Mac Mini with the i7 processor. And it's got 32 gigs of RAM, and it's got, it's just everything about it. What kind of new Mac? It skipped. Oh, Tammy asked the question. Is it going to show up here? Yeah, it does show up there. As that part of Ecamm is working. Tammy asks, what kind of new, is that French? New Mac? What kind of new Mac? The Mac Mini is the Mac that I will be getting to replace the iMac that I currently have that I'm using to do this, and that I've been using for all my production work for probably the last 2 years, when my first iMac, dated back from 2011 on, the original one I used, kind of wonked out and I needed to get it repaired and fixed. So I know I'm still freezing. It's kind of weird. Freezing and internet connections are kind of a big deal if you're doing a live. And stop freezing. Stop it. Oh, there he is, my man Dan. My mug exchange buddy. Hey, just want to show you something, Dan. This still has a prominent place in my studio, bud. It does. It does. I still haven't taken the cards out because it's not about drinking out of this bad boy. It's about having it displayed as like on my VO Mug Exchange. Yeah, and Dan's comment froze too. In discussions right now with another voice actor in North Carolina to have a successful exchange. I have a feeling it's not the computer. I think it's more my internet connection with Time Warner cable. No, it's not Time Warner anymore. It's Spectrum. I got to put this up here. This is a testimonial. Well, this is awkward. I had it muted. Oh, I know what this is. They're trying to sell me a... I honestly did have that muted. I don't know why they did that. Oh, I had Do Not Disturb on because I was scrambling with the camera. Yeah, where was I going? Oh, yes, you're welcome, Dan. See, my mug... That is Kazoo. This mug right here makes Dan Wright's coffee delicious. I think Dan could say it better. Oh, I'm not frozen again. Okay. So, yeah, I'm in the midst of discussions, like I said, with another voice actor in North Carolina. I'm not going to disclose until we actually make the exchange because I don't, want anything to go weird. But you know who you are, an IG buddy. And so, yeah, I'm going to start a collection back here. I'm going to have a couple of mine, but I'm also going to start stacking them. And my goal is to stack them above the LED light level, which is nice. I'm glad I had the pointer finger up. Or at least above the lava lamp level right there, is to grow them. See, my mug's back there, and just to keep making them grow. So you other voice actors out there that have mugs that actually have your name or your logo or QR code or something on there, send them, or let's talk and we'll exchange. I've got a box full of mine, and I'll send you one. You send me one of yours, that kind of I show you mine, you show me yours kind of thing. Because I think it's kind of cool to have a collection back there. I don't collect anything else. I do collect rubber ducks, but I stopped at one, so it's not an obsession with me. But I do like mugs and T-shirts. So yeah, back to the MacBook Pro laptop. It saved my bacon. It saved the day the other day. It was actually Monday of this week. I was talking about the internet connection being important. I am getting to the box. It's back there. I promise I'll open it. I just started late. So I have an excuse to go to 5:45. Yeah, the MacBook Pro saved my bacon on Monday because Spectrum had a major outage, my internet provider, and normally it's really fast, it's really good, no complaints, months and months and months. But of course, it's that one day, it's Monday. I've got 2 projects right there in the pipe. I've got a script somebody just sent me, and I've got another project. And I cannot connect to the internet. I can get on my phone, through Wi-Fi. I can get on my phone, but my network in the house is down because it's connected, obviously hardwired, to Spectrum service. So I'm thinking, okay, I should be able to use my iPhone as a hotspot, a personal hotspot, if you're familiar with that. Basically, you tell the phone to give permission to your other Mac devices, connected devices, and it shows up as a Wi-Fi source up in your top panel of your toolbar on the Mac. And I've done it before, but I think because my operation system is still at what's called, I think it's like 10.14, it's Mojave on the Mac, it's like a couple of versions behind, maybe 3, the latest OS, because your phone automatically normally updates. Well, I think there's some conflict there because I've used the hotspot before and been able to use my phone's connection as my computer side, go online. I check my email, and my calendar would be up to date. The internet would work. I'd be able to, get all the stuff I needed to do without Spectrum's, actual service working in the house. But on Monday of this week, that did not work. I disconnected. I reconnected. I tried everything that I knew to try, and it came down to the idea, well, even if I can get the files on my phone through the email apps and send them up to the cloud, I still don't have a way. Yes, Hannah, thank you. We did get the live stream working. Better late than never, right? By the way, Hannah just recently received, I think you were my last, you and Viviana and Chris were the last 3 that went out, I think, the mugs. So I'm all caught up with past winners. Congratulations. I think I gave away 10, 12 mugs over 2 months. Gave the last one away last week. Where was I at? You see how easily I get sidetracked. I was talking about the computer. I was talking about the internet. I was talking about, the hotspot. I'm much better than I used to be, so thank you. And there's still people watching. The numbers are going up. I don't know. Thank you. You must be desperate for entertainment. Anyway, you're just all wrapped up in this story. It's like, okay, Troy, what happened? What happened? I want to see the box open. Get to the box. Get to the box. I'll get to the box. Good grief. Like you've never seen a unboxing before. Maybe you've seen unboxings. Anyway, so internet's down. Hotspot's not working on the iMac. I can't figure it out. So it's like Spectrum sends me, and here's another testimonial. Yes, I'm going to get sidetracked again because Hannah says her coffee tastes great now with the mug as well. So if you're looking for an improvement, I should start selling these things if it really does that for coffee. I actually just got a brand new coffee maker today. That was not going to be the funboxing. But it came from, I bought it on Amazon because I couldn't find it locally. I was going to shop local, couldn't find it. A Hamilton Beach, very nice programmable 12-cup large one because I'd been using the little dinky ones that make, like the tiny little 4-cup makers. Because I was like, I don't want to, if I don't have too much in the pot, then I'll only make this much. It turns out I make, 2 or 3 of those little small pots, so the equivalent is a full pot. So I decided to finally just do it as opposed to the extra time to pour water twice and use twice as many filters. Anyway, I thought it was a good investment. So yeah, the coffee does taste better. I have not had it in one of my mugs though. But after Dan and Hannah both have chimed in and said your coffee tastes great, I'm thinking I might, and also, put these out on the market with these testimonials. Dan and Hannah say, my coffee tastes great in Troy W. Hudson's mug. Side hustle. Always thinking. The VO stuff dries up, selling mugs. Why not? So anyway, from the coffee machine, we transitioned back to the internet issues. So I'm thinking, how do I get my stuff, if I can't go through the cloud, if I can't connect to the actual computer I need to read from, I could, put the scripts on my phone and hold it up like this and read, from my phone. But I was like, that's cumbersome. It's awkward. I want to figure out a way to get this stuff onto the iMac that would not connect to the personal hotspot. So what did I do? I grabbed my trusty MacBook Pro laptop and I hopped in my car with an external hard drive because I'm thinking if I can connect to public Wi-Fi, go on and check my email down the road somewhere, and download that to a USB drive or a stick. I had an external USB drive connected to it. I will be able to bring it back here, hook up that USB drive to the iMac without internet, transfer the file, read from the computer screen, boom, knock it out, and then, dragging the audio file to the USB drive and then doing the opposite to send the stuff out. So I'm thinking, I am a smart guy. I'm going to figure this out. So it became it became a challenge. So Spectrum, meanwhile, had sent out a message. The reason I had finally abandoned ship and had gone that way of driving around the neighborhood trying to find a public Wi-Fi was because they sent out a message saying, major outage, stuff should be restored by noon. It wasn't. It's 2 o'clock. The clients are waiting. So that's why I, went to this wacky plan B I had. So there I am driving around the neighborhood, and I've got my laptop. You want to see something really creepy? Pull up to like a public park. I went to the city park thinking it's right adjacent to the local police station. And I'm thinking they probably got public Wi-Fi. I don't know. It's a city agency. It's a city department. They probably have some sort of public Wi-Fi. They don't. But I didn't know that at the time I pull up. And there's a couple in a minivan. I guess their family had decided, a day at the park. That's Ellie, by the way. She may or may not make an appearance. So I'm thinking, all right, I'll pull up here and I'll pull my laptop out. And I pull my laptop out and I put it on the steering wheel on my truck and I'm like looking for Wi-Fi. And I happen to glance over. And these people must have thought I was I don't know what they thought. But it's like, I'm pulling in to use public Wi-Fi. And I just pull out my laptop and I'm like looking. And then I happen to look over and they're looking at me and I look away real quick. And they're probably thinking, what kind of freak are you? But it was nothing bad. I was in search of Wi-Fi and I needed my Wi-Fi to work. So it didn't work there. So I closed it ever so subtly, acting like I'd never opened it, put it across the seat from me, and then drove away to the closest Starbucks I could find, which they just opened one in my town. I know. It's like when they first opened the Walmart. Well, they just opened the Starbucks coffee house shop. So, yeah, okay. Hannah's just chimed in talking about the reliability. Wi-Fi, when you need it, you need it. library parking lot. I would have done the same thing. However, it's further away and I needed the stuff now. So that was my plan C or D. Oh, hi, Ellie. I don't know if will you cooperate long enough to be seen? Okay, I'm not sure if you will or won't. All right, sweetheart. Come here. Hey, come here. Okay, we got to have an appearance by Ellie. Get your head out from under the chair and come here. Come here. Look, Ellie, everybody wants to see you. Yeah, you're looking pretty rough today. It's wet outside. She's been outside for a little bit. Oh, you like the Sweetwater box? Great advertisement. Ellie wants to know what's in the Sweetwater box. We'll find out, Ellie. I know you're excited. Every box that comes here, they have to inspect. Watson's off doing his own thing. Oh, yeah, thank you. Where are you at? Meanwhile, back at Starbucks. So, yeah, as I was saying, I really got you reeled in, don't I? Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A and lunch. Absolutely. Absolutely. Plan C or D or E or something was going to be Chick-fil-A and lunch and Wi-Fi. But again, I was in a panic. It was already late in the afternoon. I knew my service from Spectrum wasn't going to come back in time to do the voiceover, to get the stuff, transfer the stuff, get in the studio, and still have breath to do the two voiceovers I needed to do. So here I am in the Starbucks parking lot. I make the connection. It's not the greatest connection, but it's enough for me to connect. And as I'm sitting there in Starbucks, all of a sudden I'm thinking, it's like really slow. So I pick up my phone and I said, I wonder if the Wi-Fi hotspot will work. My personal hotspot will work with the Mac PowerBook, MacBook Pro. And lo and behold, it worked. And I think it's because I had just updated my OS on the laptop, the MacBook Pro, to Big Sur, which is version 11, I think, of the operating system. And my phone is on the latest OS for the iPhone. And I think that's what connected them together. So I know it has to be, that being the only difference, and it's a newer computer. But I think that's what it was. And as I'm connected, I'm going, well, I could have done this in my living room. But I didn't know that. And then I'm thinking, well, I'm going to use the Wi-Fi since I drove all the way here. So I used it even though it was slower. And as I'm connecting to the Starbucks Wi-Fi and I'm checking my email, I'm so proud of myself. And I'm copying the files to the external USB, and I'm thinking, you know what? I overcame adversity today. I did what it took. No matter what, my clients are going to be taken care of. And I'm thinking I'm going to have to share this story with, and just impress the heck out of them. Although it's not nearly impressive as I'm telling it. It sounds kind of lame. It sounds kind of convoluted. As I'm doing that, as the file is dragging over the script files, I had to transfer a movie file over too because I had to sync to it. And I'm thinking, man, I'm proud of myself for figuring this out. I get a text from Spectrum saying, we wanted to let you know the service has been restored in your area. So if I had just waited, I didn't know. But, the point was I felt victorious because I felt like I had won over technology not working. So I could have come back and just, used it as is, but I think I ended up coming back and hooking up the USB just because I had gone to that much trouble and transferred the files and done it and had to see it through, even though it took me probably 20 minutes longer. It's not even going to say long story short, the short story longer, I ended up victorious. I got the projects recorded. Yes, going above and beyond. Or around and about, however that works. Around and about, no matter what it takes. If it takes you 40 years to get through that desert, we're going to get through that desert, old boy. When it could have taken you a lot less time. Innovative. Yes, it was very innovative. I'm looking at my comments as I'm trying to keep my train of thought. Dangerous combination. But yeah, I got it done. Sent it off, and they didn't know. But if you were booked on my calendar for Monday, you can be glad to know that I went above and beyond. There's fuzz flying in here. I think it's because of Ellie. All right, enough of that stuff. Back to, excuse me, I was showing a bit too much shoulder there. I do have my trusty, not quite rusty, knife. And it's the knife. It's not quite sharp enough to cut fruit anymore, but it's in the cutting board, and it's the knife I always open packages with. I don't know why I decided to use this, but it's like if I don't open it with this official box opening knife, it's not official. It is time for the fun boxing. I'm kind of exaggerating the heaviness of it just for effect. There we go. It is from, does it show up better this way? Yeah, there we go. It is from Sweetwater Music Instruments and Pro Audio. I have invested quite a bit of money with this company over the years. Sometimes I buy from B&H, sometimes I buy from Sweetwater, and sometimes I find the best deals wherever I can find them on Amazon or even on eBay over the years. I'm also a big fan of Experamac for used Macs. I don't think I've bought a brand new Mac ever. Maybe once. But anyway, this is the fun boxing of the Sweetwater. This has not been opened, even though I'm pretty sure I know what's in here. At least I hope they didn't send the wrong stuff, and that'd be really awkward. Okay, here's the story behind the fun boxing. What's in here is going to completely round out and outfit my go bag gear that I take on the road to as close. Well, I'll just stop. I'll just open the box. Here we go. This is live. It'd be really awkward if I missed. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. This is the first time I've seen this, obviously. But I got a spectacular deal on this stuff. I want to keep it in the frame. Keep it in the frame. This is originally, the camera's supposed to be further back. And not to tease a little bit. Oh, what's that say? Oh, I'm not going to say. Oh, this is like man-sized bubble wrap. This is like, hey. Come on. It's not popping. Oh, well. The puppies are excited. Here, have some bubble wrap. Go ahead. All right, the puppies are happy. Oh, what's that say? Omed? No, it says demo. Demo, you say? Demo? Bubble wrap. Let me pull one thing out at a time. Yeah. This is the brand spanking new Universal Audio Thunderbolt 3 audio interface, the Apollo Solo. Yes, a demo version of the Apollo Solo. It was they knocked $50 off on Sweetwater, and so I got a demo model. I'd had it in my shopping cart for a long time. So this fun boxing includes the Audio Apollo. Now, what it is, it's basically it's the same thing as I've got in the other room, except it's made more for portable go gear kind of stuff. And oh, that's so pretty. Look at that dial. This side. Oh, that side. Okay. And I know when it's on, this light will be green and red and yellow. Yeah, Dan, isn't that nice? So the Apollo Solo, this will be in my go bag. You know, if anybody knows where I can find a good, look how small that thing is. It's a little bit smaller than the Mark II that's in my other room. It is shiny. It's very shiny. I'm very happy, and yeah, it's very, very nice. So this will be in my go bag after I find a. For now, it'll be in the box, but I'll hook it up to the laptop. When I say go bag, I mean the stuff I carry on the road. So this will be the audio interface that I use. And the wonderful thing about the Apollo is the Manley VoxBox plugin. I know that doesn't mean anything unless, well, it may not mean anything unless you have plugins for the Universal Audio Apollo. They have plugins. I happen to use one plugin in particular and have it set to my voice. And it will allow me, because this is a piece of hardware, folks. This, you know, if I'm hooked up to the Apollo network, then I can get the exact plugin that I'm using, because it's somewhere in the cloud. And so I will have it on here, the exact settings I use in my studio I'll have on the road for that particular plug-in. And everything else is the same. The preamps are exactly the same. But this hooks up Thunderbolt 3 directly to the MacBook Pro, which is what it uses natively. So that will be the audio interface I will take on the road with me in my go bag. Oh, what else did they send me? Huh? Yeah. I got a Sweetwater shirt. Nice. Yeah. That was actually very nice. And here is a Thunderbolt 3 cable that comes with the audio interface to connect. So they actually sent me a cable. Normally I forget what they said what it was, but they throw it in free. Other places you buy, because Universal doesn't ship with the Thunderbolt 3 cable, but Sweetwater, bless their hearts, they send me the Thunderbolt 3 cable so I can connect without having to buy an additional cable, which is nice. That Sweetwater Merc. Oh, and they gave me a sticker. There's more stuff in here. There's serious stuff. Just wait. Their catalog is always fun. Aren't they the people that send the candy? They used to send candy. There's no candy in here. They used to. I know, because of the stuff going on. Gotcha. Okay, so there's one more item in here, and it says Demo 2. Well, here's what I did. Sennheiser 416, in order to get to match the sound with everything, if I'm trying to go as close as possible to the plugins, the software, all the hardware, to be honest, there's knockoffs, there's other models out there I could go with. But when I saw this particular model on sale for $100 off as a demo and $50 off for the Apollo, I could not resist. So what I done is, and they're pretty tight, a brand new Sennheiser. You want to smell it? Okay. A brand new Sennheiser MKH 416. That's right. Your newer, younger brother. Yes, complete redundancy. That's the idea. So, this Sennheiser will be in my go bag. It is a complete copy of everything, essentially, that I'm using in my studio. So, the Apollo interface, the Sennheiser MKH 416. I may bring the, this is the standard black windscreen. This is the bad boy. So yeah, so the MKH 416, the Audio Apollo Solo is going in the go bag. Even the headphones match. I've got, these are the ones I use for the video, but I've got a pair of Beyerdynamic DT770 Pros 80 ohm headphones, exact same kind, will be in my bag. So everything is as close as possible to what I'm doing, minus the acoustic. The next thing to do, and I'll have a cool t-shirt to wear too. Maybe I can use that for sound treatment too. The next thing to do, speaking of sound treatment, is to invest, and I think is what's called the Vomo. I think it's, I can't remember who sells that. Somebody on here probably knows. But it's basically like, I've heard some fantastic things about it. I think it's about $400. But if you're on the road at all, if you're traveling and you're trying to control stuff without having to carry this massive amount of stuff or tear a hotel room apart, and I've done that, not destroyed it, but pulled cushions off couches and used pillows all over the beds in the hotel room and quilts and all kind of stuff. Well, this thing is basically packed to go for those kind of things. It's a small PVC, I think it's a small wireframe actually, but it's strong enough to where you can put a stand underneath it, put your laptop underneath it, and enclose yourself as well as you can, and it cuts down dramatically the amount of noise. And so yeah, the Vomo's the next thing after this, but as far as the hardware, that's what's in the box. The Universal Audio, the Universal Apollo Audio, get it right. The Apollo Solo, keep it simple, Apollo Solo. It's ready to go. The new Sennheiser MKH 416. You're staying where you're at. Don't worry. You stay right where you're at, Sennheiser. This is the road kit right here. You guys are roadies with me from now on. And this is my roadie shirt. So hashtag Sweetwater. Love you, babe. Mean it. And so, yeah, I'm a happy camper. And so this stuff goes on the 2021 tax deductible stuff for next year. So the Mac Mini was an investment I made and purchased back in 2020. Always thinking everything you buy for your business, you're thinking that. And this is a serious investment. But again, Sweetwater had the demo sale going on, 50 off the Apollo Solo and 100 off the Sennheiser MKH. So that was just like, the time is right now. Just go ahead and do it. It's been in the shopping cart for probably 6 months off and on. I'd go back and forth, and I don't want to spend that much. It's like, I'm not traveling that much. And then finally I said, it's time to man up. It's time to mic up. It's time to audio up. It's time to get on your hosses and let's do this thing right. So that's what I did. So I wanted to share that fun boxing with you folks that decided to stick with me all this time. And if you're watching the playback later, thank you. So yeah, the dogs are gone. They always have to inspect and smell stuff before they left the bubble wrap in here, so I can have some fun tonight. Popping it with my knife. And excuse me, I'm starting to lose my voice. Oh, that was another thing I was going to bring up real quick before I head out of here. Today was supposed to be Red Cross Friday, but I woke up. I had a long session yesterday, like 7 scripts or something like 1,600 words a piece. And so I'm trying to get it back. So maybe why I'm struggling right now. I've used it all up for today. I have a quota of words, and then I'm done. So I had like 1,600 word scripts to do, and plus I had a couple of smaller jobs. And as I was going through the day, I started feeling, a little runny nose, and I started feeling, I don't get sick. Last time I was sick was back in August when I thought I had COVID, but I tested and it wasn't, but it must have been some sort of flu. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, something like in the side of my throat or something, and it was like a lymph node or something, and it started to like feel like it was swelling up. And I've had this before the last time I was sick. Pardon me. I'm not getting sick now. It's just my throat's starting to close up on me. That's sick. That's not sick. It's just a little hoarse as opposed to a big horse. And so I'm feeling this in my throat, and I'm like, I'm doing platelets tomorrow. I'm going to the Red Cross because it's like my monthly thing. The first Friday of every month, I go and do platelets, and I sit in the chair, and they drain me and fill me back up for 2.5 hours. And then I come home with snacks, which is, I'm sorry to say, that's probably the highlight of everything. That, and I get to watch Netflix, for a couple of hours. I don't have it at home. So, so I woke up this morning, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm still kind of feeling, and I was glad I'd knocked all the recording out yesterday, because when I woke up this morning, it was just like, I'm not feeling too hot. And I opened the Red Cross app, and I'm like, I hate to do this. I think it's twice in all the time I've been going, and I hit cancel appointment, collective. Oh, but the good news is, I'll reschedule probably for next week, because I am feeling a lot better now, to go. And so next week will probably be, Red Cross Friday, just a week delayed, but I don't want to wait until February because I know the need is great. And if you aren't giving blood, consider it. Platelets even more so. It's a thing you can do. Especially today to help somebody out. So I'm gonna slip into something more comfortable. I'm gonna put on this Sweetwater t-shirt. I'm gonna play with some of these cool toys and hook them up to the MacBook Pro and have some fun. And thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic, a blessed, safe weekend. Hug on somebody, let them know you love them. I appreciate you sticking with me even though I started late. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Playback, you didn't have to deal with any of that. I will. I'm going to have fun with my new toys, even though they didn't send me candy this time. I got a t-shirt. And so Kazoo and I will have fun. That was your cue, Kazoo. There we go. You guys be blessed, be a blessing, and we'll see you, or I'll see you. No, you can't see me. Yeah, that's how it works. You'll see me, maybe, next Friday if everything works right and they don't drain me dry.